Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and this will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, June 24th. And this will be from a technical analysis point of view. So if you are a technical trader and you use technical charts, or who knows, maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts, how they can be used to formulate trade plans, then this will be a video for you. So let's get right to it. First stock, ticker symbol AMC, and overall, and this definitely will mean a lot more to those people that have watched the videos that I've done on this one over the past several days in a row, but once again, this trend line here is talk about being just like the annoying younger brother or sister. Once again, opening 30 minutes, big move up, and surprise, surprise, right there is where the price ultimately got rejected back down. So that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the chart. In fact, the overall pattern is still completely in play. It just goes to reiterate that, yeah, that trend line there has been absolutely crazy. And again, like I said, for those of you that have watched past videos, you know I've been talking about this video for basically the past, I don't know, let's call it week and a half or so. And yet again, that trend line has shown itself to be a very big problem. So continue to watch that. Nothing has changed in that regard. The overarching trend line right there still remains public enemy number one from the resistance side of things. But as far as the overall pattern is concerned, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all. You know, something that would be considered wrong is if the price were to come down here to the bottom part of the pattern and then break down through there. At that point, okay, yeah, things are starting to look a little bit more shaky. But like as you can see here, I mean, the price isn't anywhere close to that green line down there. Now, could the price maybe roll back over and give it another test? Yeah, I don't think that would really shock anybody, and there wouldn't be anything wrong with that. Now, I should take that back. That does depend on perspective. If you're a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, and yeah, of course, you don't want to see the price going all the way back down there. But again, I'm making that comment from more so the overarching standpoint, because as I talked about in the video from yesterday, and I'll do it again here just very briefly. So there's the pull part of the pattern, there's the resistance part, there's the support part, and then for you golfers out there that make this a little more visual, you still have the overall bull pennant pattern in play. So again, that resistance level showed up, but the bull pennant still completely in play moving forward. Next stock here, ticker symbol SNDL, and this has been a very popular one. Kind of dropped off people's radars, but then today, all of a sudden, volume came pouring back in, and that opening 30 minutes, very, very impressive move. And then for the rest of the day, I don't mean this in a bearish sense, really didn't do anything. It just consolidated sideways. But the good news on the consolidation sideways is it was very clearly much higher than where it was. So the big question mark now just moving forward is, all right, is this going to be a healthy consolidation? Is just, a temporary pause before another move up? Because unfortunately, prices just can't go straight up all the time. They do need to consolidate. And right now, I would just consider this a healthy consolidation. Now, I mean, if the price all of a sudden collapses down to this area where it just was, below 92 cents, at that point, it's no longer a healthy consolidation. That would just be a complete, surrender of all the gains that it accomplished today. But I mean, as long as the price does stay up around this general area, then in my opinion, at least, that is a completely healthy consolidation. And, the chart isn't doing anything wrong because again, based on the premise of, no price can just go straight up. So just because the price starts to go sideways doesn't mean that all of a sudden it's bearish. It just means, well, it's got to consolidate out. Now, as far as levels of resistance to keep an eye on, all eyes now definitely going to be watching that pink line up there, which on my chart denotes a very famous, a very well-known 200 period moving average currently valid at, let's just call it the $5 mark. So $5 will be public enemy number one. But yeah, no doubt about it. Very nice volume today, very nice price movement. And now the question going forward is, hey, is this the start of something much bigger? Is this just a healthy consolidation right here? Let's see how it continues to play out on Thursday. Next stock here, ticker symbol NNDM, and very, very impressive move. Although, I mean, to be fair, it actually kind of started off yesterday on Tuesday. Didn't quite make the top 10 list on it. But today, the volume remained just as strong and the price continued to push upwards. So moral of the story, certainly that many more people are going to be watching it moving forward. As far as, what's going to make this chart look whoops, let me get that out of there. Change my settings over. Forgot to do that. There we go. So the first key level, from just an ideal perspective, meaning, what would make a consolidation look the absolute best? Certainly if the price can stay above $8.25. Now, if the price falls below there, doesn't wreck the chart, you still have the 50 period moving average down there, that purple line. But I think that the main issue, the main dynamic that most people are going to be watching, rightfully so, is, all right, well, where are some of these next levels of resistance? Because this thing is moving, it's moving quick. Where are some next potential battleground points at? And the next level, not until up there around the $9. Yeah, $9.15. So, and this is coming from way back here. When was that? Back in late April. So, I mean, we're talking multiple weeks, several weeks since the price could potentially be, getting up around that area. And then if the price pushes up through there, as you're seeing, Then all of a sudden the price starts to push up to really levels of resistance, not until up above the $10 mark. But I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's just first see if A, the price could even get up to 915, and then B, can the price push through it? And if it can, well then yeah, that's just going to bring in that much more momentum. Next one here, ticker symbol ORPH. And the reason why I'm doing this one mainly is just the track record on this one, knowing that it can move very, very big. I mean, that move there was just insane. But then there's been plenty of other movements where it's made nice movements, including today. So that's the main reason why, because I could understand why you'd be saying, why are you looking at this one, Clay? It's basically been going down the entire afternoon. And you're not wrong at all. That's a more than fair and very accurate observation. But for me, it's just a big question of, okay, today's explosive movement, is this the start of something bigger? And is this right here just simply a good old-fashioned healthy pullback? Or to be fair, maybe this is the start of something much bigger, and this was just kind of one of these one-day wonders where the price then goes right back to where it was. But to say that the price has gone back to where it was right now just isn't quite accurate, because, I mean, if you think about it, if the price can maintain up above $7, what is that doing for the chart? Well, so just for example, say price comes down there, stays above 7. I mean, at that point, you would still be able to say, well, I mean, you still got a set of lows there. Previous set of lows is right there. If you envision those as stair steps, you still have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So that's why I'm still willing to give this a bit of the benefit of the doubt. Because right now, yeah, I would still call this a pullback. But I mean, if the price comes down here, breaks down through 7, now all of a sudden, what do you have? Well, you basically have the price having gone right back inside of the range where it just was. And at that point, as far as, the trading lingo goes, I would introduce the terminology of reversal at that point and just say, yep, that thing has completely reversed back around. But in my opinion, at least, still just a pullback. And we'll see if this thing can start to recover. But the overarching area of resistance, as was the case, I think on SNDL too, that 200 period moving average, you can see that's right where the price got rejected from. So if there is any sort of attempted bigger recovery, right around that $9 mark is going to be that main level of resistance. Next stock here, ticker symbol BEST, and very, very nice move on this one. Good solid volume, and price made a nice move up, and really all day long formed a nice uptrend, including the last 30 minutes. In fact, last 30 minutes was actually the biggest volume bar of the day and got the nice move up. Some more of the story, certainly a lot of eyeballs going to be watching this one headed into Thursday. So first level of support, going to be that ideal level as I've described in other tickers, meaning, okay, what's going to make this chart look the absolute best? And that's going to be if the price can stay above $1.65. Again, if it falls below there, not the end of the world, because from the overarching standpoint, you have that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. So as it moves itself higher and higher, the general idea becomes, well, as long as the price stays above that line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, then the bulls are in full health, bulls are in full control. So that's what's being represented there. But yeah, certainly in the near term, all about that $1.65 mark. But now for the fun stuff, where are some of these next potential resistance levels at? And for this one, having to go way back in the charts history. So I realize it's getting a bit harder to see, but that's always a good problem to have when you have to go this far back. But first key level of resistance is going to be right up there at $1.87, which was actually temporarily broken during the last 30 minutes. However, the price couldn't close up above it. So that level still got to be considered an area of resistance. And then after $1.87, next key battleground up there at $1.95. And I mean, no guarantees, but you got to think if the price can get a good high volume break of $1.95, it's got a very legitimate chance of getting up to $2 and potentially breaking up through there. But we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, no doubt about it. Today, this one definitely set off a bunch of volume scanners. Our next one here, ticker symbol PLTR. And for those of you that have watched past videos, you should get this reference. But finally, it finally happened. What am I referring to? Well, this red line here at 25.50 has been a very, very annoying, a very, very stubborn level. But you can see today on the gap up, the price finally was able to not only break through that level, but I mean, never really turned itself around. So that is the overall context now moving forward, is there is this technical breakout that is underway, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line as it served its purpose for now. But again, that's the overall context on PLTR. There's a breakout underway. Now it just becomes a question of, okay, well, how much continuation is this breakout going to get? And, the first sign that it's a super healthy breakout is if the price can stay above 25.80. So keep an eye on that. And then you also have that 50-period moving average right there. That's going to offer some, kind of assistance in helping confirm the strength or lack thereof of any sort of breakout. But as of now, I mean, looking very, very strong and very healthy. But now we got to focus on, well, where are some of these next potential areas of resistance at? And as you're seeing here, as we're a couple of past ticker symbols, we're going back up to areas that have not been seen for a very long time. Next key area of resistance now going to be right up there at $26. Yeah, and 85 cents. If you want to round up to 27, I don't think anybody would argue against there. So keep an eye on that battleground. But like I said, yeah, definitely the main dynamic here today was the price finally did get that breakout, and now it's all about, all right, breakout accomplished. Let's see how much momentum can be built upon it. Next one here, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla, and wow, what a day on this one. And I just couldn't, I mean, just a great example of technical analysis here. So I've talked about that in past videos, that resistance trend line. And when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you expect them to act as support. And check it out, on the gap up here, look right where the price pulled back. And I have not moved that red line. If you don't believe me, if I'm a stranger to you, I understand. All you got to do is go back in the archive, watch the past time where Tesla was on the top 10 list, and you'll see I put that line there. I've not touched it, but look, literally, in fact, I'll zoom in some more. Look right where the price bounced off of. I mean, you just can't make that stuff up. I mean, not that technical analysis is perfect, but I mean, a classic example of it right there. But needless to say, after today's huge move, certainly a lot of updates need to be done here. The first update in terms of just near-term levels of support, that, you know, as far as, in my opinion, at least the price stays above it, then it's about as healthy of a consolidation as it can get, is going to be right here at that 645 mark. So keep an eye on 645, and then that purple line 50 period, which I, continue to talk about, but it's very important. But I mean, this thing has done a fantastic job of providing support over the past several days. So continue to watch that from more of an overarching standpoint. But again, we got to put on our little kind of, get out our flashlights, because we are going searching for next potential areas of resistance, which again, having to go way back into the charts history, with the next key level of resistance now being right up there around, let me make sure I'm getting that right. Yeah, right up around 665. So 665, public enemy number one. But just like PLTR, the big dynamic here was Tesla got the big old breakout of that trend line. So now it's totally just the question of, all right, well, how much momentum is going to be built upon it? So let's see how it goes over the next couple of days. Next one here, ticker symbol IDEX. Very nice movement today from price and volume standpoint, and overall had a little bit of a pullback here, but I mean, that was really nothing within the grand scheme of things, because the price still has plenty of opportunity to chip away and build those higher bases. And as far as levels of support are concerned, just talked about that on the Tesla chart, but when levels of resistance are broken, so going into today, that 200 period moving average was the resistance, but now that the price is broken up above it, if there is any sort of pullbacks, and yeah, ideally speaking, you want to now see the price stay up above 305, and if the price can do that, then that's certainly going to make the chart look completely healthy. But yeah, I do realize it is perspective. If you're a day trader and you bought right there, then yeah, you probably don't care about that 200 period moving average. But these comments are definitely, being geared towards somebody that has a bigger picture point of view. So yeah, 305 will be that main level of support. Now, if this price continues to work its way upwards, as far as the next key area of resistance, going to be right up there at the $3 and let's just call it $3.30. So that'll be public enemy number one. And I suppose I should probably add in one more, just because this thing has shown an ability to move quite quickly today. And then after 330, next key level up there at $3.40. So keep an eye on those couple areas. But yeah, there's no doubt about this thing has woken up. Very clear from the volume, but it just goes into, okay, well, how much is it going to wake up? Is it going to continue to wake up, or is this just kind of a one-day thing where it's going to roll back over and go to bed, over the next couple of days? That all remains to be seen. But there's no doubt about it. The big first step has happened. The price has woken up, but let's just see how much momentum can now be built upon it. Next one here, ticker symbol CLOV, very, very popular one, and rightfully so. Another good, healthy day. That red line there has now officially been broken, so resistance breakout is underway. Now, it wasn't necessarily explosive today in the sense of, the price gapped up and then just roared and anything like that. It's one of those days that can almost feel like not good, because, oh yeah, the price is gapping up, and then it really didn't do anything. But that's not true, because it did do stuff, right? Where did it, how low did it get right today? Well, basically right there. Where was the low previously? Right there. Where's the low previously to that? Down there. And if you envision those as the stair steps, well, today the stair steps are continuing in the upwards direction. So in other words, not only did the price put in higher lows, but it also put in higher highs. Of course, yeah, it didn't close up there, so it can feel bad because it pulled back from those highs. But when you take a step back and look at things from the bigger picture, I mean, it's hard to complain about a chart that's putting in higher highs and higher lows, which is exactly what happened here today. As far as supports are concerned, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this level up to right there at the $13 mark. I'm not going to call it 13 a do or die level, but yeah, preferably speaking, now moving forward, if the price can stay above 13, that would definitely be best case. And again, not going to call it a make or break level, but if the price were to break below 13, something just, that just wouldn't be right, I don't think. But like I said, as of now, the good news is the price isn't anywhere close to $13. But as far as next potential breakout areas are concerned, meaning where some of these levels of resistance, next key level right up there, which might have been where today's high got rejected. Yeah, $14.50. If you look closely, you can see right there are some problems right around that area. And then once again, right where the price got rejected. But like I said, the moral of the story here is what matters most. Higher highs, higher lows from a trend building perspective, and that's what happened today on it. And our final one here, ticker symbol WKHS. And I mean, I have no problem saying I kind of wrote this one off. I thought it was pretty much game over. But, no problem admitting that got that wrong. And I mean, just the context of today is this. There's this nasty trend line that was underway, but you can see right here, the trend line was broken, came back down, back tested it, and then back up it went. So trend line breakout is, like I said, I'm not going to keep that line there, but just to offer up some overall context, that's kind of the underlying dynamic here. And next, dynamic that a lot of people are going to be watching, rightfully so, is right up there around $16.15. And that is not some sort of great discovery on my part. I assure you, people that use charts, understand charts, have seen this level. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same level, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. And you go through the history of things and you can see presented a problem, presented a problem, presented a problem, and even today got right up in that area and presented a problem. So while nothing is guaranteed, my point is this: it is more than valid. It's more than rational to think that if the price can get up to 16.15 and then get a break up through it, that break right there could very well create quite a bit of upside buying pressure. So that is certainly going to be that main dynamic to watch moving forward. And it's, again, nothing's guaranteed, but it's rational to think that that could very well happen because it's within striking distance. Again, the context is all about that trend line break. So you already have the trend line break. You already have an increase in volume. So can it get up there and break up through it? No guarantees, but like I said, a more than valid thought, more than rational thought, to have towards this one moving over the next couple of days. So those are the top 10 stocks. If you found this video helpful, and if you want to learn more about technical analysis, how to use charts to build consistent strategies, kind of my philosophy with them, how I use them, how I believe they should be used, then I do offer a completely free live class. In fact, it'll be tomorrow on Thursday. So if you're interested, you can get signed up, and I'm going to cut to a video as soon as this one is over that gives you more details. And there's a link down below in the description section if you want to get signed up for it. But like I said, if you just want to improve with charts, learn more about them, see how I use them to build consistency and strategies, then like I said, I'd encourage you to get signed up for that. If you enjoyed as far as this video is concerned, please hit that like button. But if you're interested in that live class, I'm going to cut to it right now. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.